Hey guys, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a few weeks since I've posted, a lot longer than I thought it would be. It's sort of an impromptu break. It's just kind of one of those things when life got in the way. Also, I haven't been doing like a lot of shopping and things like that, so I didn't really have a lot to talk about. But today I'm going to talk about a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's about vintage bags. Now, I have bought one little Chanel item, and it is from the fall collection. It is the Sweetness lipstick, and I am actually wearing it today. I think it's really cute. I wanted to go for something a little bit different than my usual nude rose lipsticks, so I thought this was a good little segue into a little more color, and I think it's a really nice fall lipstick. I personally have not bought any Chanel vintage bags, but I would like to add one to the collection. I've really just bought straight from the boutique, and I do have a few pre-loved Chanel bags. And I wanted to talk about the Chanel vintage bags that really draw me in. Now, the first one is going to be the Chanel Diana bag. This is a bag that I wish I would have bought a long time ago, because now they just go for a lot more money. There was a point in time where you could find a Chanel Diana bag for $2,000–$3,000 in the caviar leather. You can find lambskin Diana bags for less, but the caviar leather really exploded in popularity. They just go for a lot more than the $2–3 grand. So it's kind of one of those things, hindsight's 20/20. I wish I would have looked around for one more, but you live and you learn. This bag is especially beautiful in my opinion. It's single flap. It comes with the gold hardware that you used to get with Chanel. There was a reissue of this bag in 2015. Of course, it didn't have the gold hardware like the vintage ones do, and it was a little bit different. I think I would really love a vintage one from the 90s, and I'm not so picky. I would like a caviar one, but I also really like this bag in the satin, and the chain that the satin ones come with is extra special in my opinion. This bag, of course, was popularized by Princess Diana, and hence the reason why it's called the Diana bag. The second bag that I absolutely love is the Chanel Wicker basket bag. This is also a bag from the 90s. I feel like Chanel was really on their A game when it came to bags in the 90s. I love them so much. I love them more than the bags that came out later in the 2000s. This is also another bag that has skyrocketed in price, so I don't know if I'll ever be adding this bag to my collection. I see these going for around $10,000, $6,000 on the low end, and for a wicker basket bag, I don't know if I could ever bring myself to spend that much money on a basket bag. One of the reasons why I haven't gone for the Prada bag is I feel like $3,000 is a lot of money for a wicker bag. So to spend even more on a Chanel, it would just really have to be a right price, right time, right bag situation for a wicker bag purchase, at least for me. This one is absolutely gorgeous though. They come in a variety of leathers. I've seen them in denim. Beige leather is beautiful, the white leather is beautiful. And these again are bags that you can find in mint condition, excellent condition. I've seen them really stand the test of time. Of course, you do have some that have some wear and tear with the wicker. The ones that I have seen are in great condition, and the price really does reflect that. It hurts a little bit because I did find an old sale of one for only $695 from several years back, and that was just the time that people weren't really going for the vintage bag. And so of course the prices are going to reflect that, but out of all the wicker designer bags that I have ever seen, this one is my favorite. The other one that I would really consider would be a mini square. I love the mini squares. The ones that we have nowadays are slightly smaller than the vintage ones, and the vintage ones are really more of a square shape than the ones that we have now. And I think that extra space is very desirable to me. You also get the 24 karat hardware, and you can find these in a variety of conditions and price points as well. You can find some that might be under the current retail price for the modern mini square. Sometimes if they're in excellent condition, pristine, they might go for a little bit more, but you're kind of looking at the same price. I know my sister has bought a few of these vintage mini squares for good prices. So if you really shop around and you have one of these on your mind, you can find exactly what you're looking for. Now, I mostly see these in the lambskin leather, which was the leather that was more popular back when these bags were being produced. But sometimes I do see them in other materials, maybe like a jersey and other fabrics like that. I personally would go for a leather one. The one thing that I would avoid with these is a repainted or re-dyed bag. I would want the original color. And the fourth bag that I would consider for my vintage collection or starting off point would be, of course, the classic flap. Now, this is one that I do think I would prefer to get it in the original black with the 24 karat plated hardware. That gold hardware really just pops on the vintage bags. And seeing that I already own the classic flap in the caviar leather with the silver hardware, I think having the gold lambskin would just be a nice complement to this bag. So it would be nice to have the pair. I think if you are a Chanel collector, a vintage classic flap is usually a piece that is on the top of everyone's list. I know a lot of people will do, you know, birth year bags, and they'll look for a vintage classic flap from the year that they were born, or maybe a year that was special to them. I don't know that I would prioritize the year of the bag. I would more prioritize the quality, the corner wear. Of course, all of these bags are going to have wear and tear. They're vintage, but some you might have quilts that are flatter, some might have puffier quilts. I've seen where the vintage quilts are like pitted almost. So those are all considerations that I would take. So I would go for, you know, the best quality that I could find. You can find vintage classic flaps at much lower price points than what the modern classic flaps retail in store. And for that reason, people are really drawn to the vintage classic flaps. And of course, they're beautiful. They're like a piece of fashion history. Now, there are a few honorable mentions. These aren't the only beautiful Chanel vintage bags that have been made. Chanel has made a plethora of gorgeous vintage bags since they started designing handbags. So I really think also if I were to find a beautiful vintage bag that's not on this list and it just really drew my breath away, it caught my attention, then of course I would consider a bag like that. There are other single flap bags that are really popular, like the big jumbo single flap with the big large CCs. That's a really nice bag to start a vintage collection with. I also like these smaller single flap bags. I think these are really cute bags for going out. And I know that we all love our mini bags these days because, you know, we just really carry our phones or our cards or lipstick or keys maybe, so we don't need a whole lot of space, and I think these are really cute. You can find them at great price points as well, at least when it comes to Chanel. Alright guys, well that is the end of this video. Let me know in the comments below if there are any vintage Chanel bags that have your heart, your eye. I'd love to hear what those bags are. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys!